Boy, can I help you?
Listen up. I'm bringing you the best content to ever exist in the door-to-door industry, from sales, leadership, recruiting, and personal development.
Well, why would I need that?
Because never before have we been able to collaborate with the top experts in their industries, sharing their secrets and techniques on what makes them the best.
Wait, who are you?
I'm your host, Sam Taggart, creator of the DDD Experts and DDD Con. Is there a place we can sit down?
Well, come on in.
Vanilla is the fastest way to increase your Google and Facebook reviews through text. With a 98% open rate, Vanilla Reviews is the simplest, cheapest way to interact and engage with customers. Visit us at vanillagood.com for more information.
What's up, everybody? This is Sam Taggart with the DDD Podcast, and I'm here with Joe Jensen, the one and only, from St. George, Utah.
Yeah.
Good buddy of mine. We go way back, and today we're going to be talking on charity and a charity week that we're going to be hosting.
Yeah, dude.
July 22nd through the 27th.
Yep, through
right?
the 27th.
So we're launching this live right now. We're going to give more details. So comment below if you want to participate in the charity week. Hit I'm interested. Comment, say I'm interested right now.
Like,
in the link. I'm in.
I want to give sight to the blind.
Give sight to the blind. So we're going to be launching this charity week together, and it's a D2D tribe type thing where we're going to go in and we're going to give sight to the blind. So the podcast today is going to be, one, kind of hyping that up and letting you guys know how we're going to unify and recognize at Door to Door Con some of the guys that contributed the most, how to do it, what that means, a charity week as a tribe, and how it's going to impact us, the return that we're going to get, and then how it's going to impact all the people obviously we're serving through Charity Vision.
Well, I'm stoked that you decided to get in on this. So this is something I did with my group last year, just really small, just my office, and I was like, hey, let's do this charity week, and we'll get into the details of how that all came to be. But I was like, dude, we need to do this industry-wide. Like, why should it just be my office?
100%.
Like, we need to do it everywhere. So you got on board. You were super jacked. As soon as I brought it up to you, you were like, 100%, we got to do that.
No, and one of the things that I found charity has been an integral part in my experience door to door with company trips and, you know, charity days or charity weeks and things like that, where I think a lot of companies lack that kind of cultural competency. Maybe they're smaller, maybe that they haven't really ever been introduced to that. And so I want to kind of talk through like how this is as a tribe. Why don't we just all do it together?
Yeah, and it's so impactful, man. Like, I know for me, I just loved just like, not like, oh, I love giving back, but I love being able to like see the world through different eyes and make an impact. You know what I mean? It's easy to just like take care of yourself, but when you get to see what it does to help other people. So I remember before Door to Door, I did a charity trip out to Africa. I went to Kenya and Uganda. If anybody's from Africa, shout out. And it was just so cool.
Ghanaian today. The dude that works at the hotel counters from Ghana.
There you go. He better be watching this, dude.
Oh, he's watching.
For sure.
We jammed. I'm like, what part of Ghana are you from?
But
I was like, it was
you're like, because I know.
I know.
The lower
I know. I'm like,
corner.
I went to there. Do you speak Tree? He's like, do you know what the language is even? I'm like, oh, dude, I'm an expert.
Yeah, dude.
But I can't remember a word.
I know every time I knock into someone from Africa, I'm like, oh, well, I've been to Uganda.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
No, there's another. Yes.
And they look at me, they're like, dude, I'm from like West Africa. That's like East Africa. That's like a different country. I'm like, my bad.
It's all the same.
but no, it's sick, dude, because like what I really like, if I was like to design my perfect job, it would literally be like, or perfect life, it'd be traveling the world and like doing like helpful things, like helping the people you travel. I think it's weird to like go to a country and just like sit in a Marriott hotel and like there's
and
people
look at
like
old things in Europe.
Yeah, and then there's like people like struggling outside the window. It's cool if you can combine that with travel. Anyway, and so that's what I love about when I got into Door to Door, and they do these charity trips. I've been to like Belize and Cambodia and like different places doing that. But then one thing that was really cool is we started doing like local charity stuff too, and I wanted to figure out a way to make a more of an impact. And one thing that sucks, I don't know like if people have looked a lot into doing charities, but they don't all. Like, they're not all equal. Like, sometimes, like, money's getting taken off the top, or, like, they want to have this good impact, but then it's like, they're actually, like, destroying the infrastructure of the country they're going in to save. You know, it's like, if you go in and you just give somebody everything, then they don't even, like, figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's hard. Everybody's like, I want to give back, and then they're like, well, how? You know what I mean? And you want to make sure it's going to a good cause, and you don't want to be, like we were talking about how you went to Cambodia, but you built you built a wall. In a
yeah. I was
prison,
laying
and you're
bricks
laying
for the
bricks.
first day at this prison yard, and I'm like,
What am I doing?
this is stupid. And luckily, we just took off. We're like, you know what? This is dumb. We grabbed our group. We had like van groups. We got like, let's get in the van. And we just left, drove down into the village, and we're like, hey, how can we help some people? We bought like a lady a bicycle to get into town, like build a bathroom and put a roof on a house. And like, it was super really cool.
Yeah, like they literally had no roof. Now I've got the ability to like get a roof over there.
You know, but it's not always easy. Like you said, we were trying to do this, and like the company had set up this stuff to like try to make it impactful, and we have this many people, and it's not always easy to help, which is sad. You think you'd be like, oh, I want to help, I'll just
just
do
make
it.
a couple phone calls and I'm making an impact. Like
But it's not that easy. Like, and one thing I learned with Charity Vision is a lot of, especially ones that go in and do like kind of like surgeries and like big like impact stuff, they can actually really screw up the local economy really, really bad, and they can drive doctors out if they're doing it wrong. And what's really cool about Charity Vision, and so that's the company that we talk about giving sight to the blind. It's through a company called Charity Vision. You can check them out. charityvision.net is their website, and you can learn a lot about it. But one thing that attracted me to them and why I decided to last year do a charity week with them was because of the infrastructure they do it. It's super sustainable. They use all local doctors. They build their practices so that people will have the benefit of having local doctors.
It's influxing the economy there.
Exactly, it's growing it there as opposed to going in and destroying it, which unfortunately a lot of like charities that have good meaning, good people wanting to do something, just didn't know all the details, go in and actually like screw it up. So this doesn't do that, which is awesome.
And it's what I really liked about this concept of helping give, cataract surgeries and glasses and things like that, like giving this simple surgery to people that, you were telling me it only takes 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's something that a local guy doesn't know how to do, or nobody's going to just be like, let me cut open your eye real quick.
Right.
Where a local guy could be like, let me lay some bricks. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's like they could do that. Like, I remember I'm sitting there, I'm painting a school in Nepal, and I'm like painting, right? And the dude looks at me and he's like, you suck at painting, let me take over. And he's like this little Nepali cat. I'm like, I'm helping, but you do way better painting than I do. But it's like the fact that these experts go in, do these surgeries, train on medical procedures, give medical supplies that they would never be able to get anywhere else. Other than, you can go to the local freaking mart and get some brick mortar and some paint.
Yeah, and in some
like
of these countries, dude, there's this one, I was just watching this video, and there's like certain medicines like that aren't even available in some countries that they need for it. So we're able to import that medicine, provide it all, so that they can do those surgeries. And there's like expensive machines and different things like that they'll use, that if we can just give that to that doctor, now he has it for his whole clinic.
Yeah, and you're like,
plus, hey, by the way, here's a couple hundred people you need to do it for free for, and he's like, heck yeah, win-win.
I just got a freaking device that nobody else has.
Yeah.
And now I have a monopoly.
But he has the skills to do it.
Exactly.
And that's where the real value is. In America, when you're paying thousands of dollars for these surgeries, it's like, you're paying for the doctor's skills.
Exactly.
And if we can provide all the resources and he provides the skills and we provide the machines, and it's like, it helps everybody. And so super cool, like you said, like 80% of cataracts can be cured with a simple surgery. But in America, you just go down and you get the surgery. No big deal. No one thinks about it. They're, especially for like little kids, they have like a lazy eye, they just go fix it, right? But if you're in India and you don't even have you're making $1 a day, and you don't even know where.
And there's over a billion people there.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
We can't even fathom sometimes the life out in these countries.
Yeah, it'd be literally impossible. You don't even know where to begin. There's over 20 million people that suffer from blindness because of something that could be fixed
in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and for 25
and their
bucks.
whole life
25
bucks. And their whole life they'll go without seeing.
Yeah.
Imagine living without seeing.
Well, and that's what happens, dude, because if little kids get this lazy eye, then their brain gives up on the eye. And so after a few years of it, the eye dies.
My niece actually has that. She's 1 and she wears these glasses, and it's
strange. You have to use your eye,
you have
or
to use
else it'll
your
give
eye.
up on
Forces
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was in Madagascar
they don't
or something.
Have that glasses.
They don't know. They don't have. They're just like, oh, my kid looks funny, and literally the culture will even somebody's oh, what'd you do? Are you a sinner? Are you did something wrong? And they'll kick them out, and we can go in, fix it. Now they're not going to lose eyesight, and it changes their whole life, So it's super, super impactful. And that was something I wanted when I was looking for a charity partner for, my office to do a charity week, is, I wanted something to be impactful, not painting or like laying bricks that somebody else could do. And it was cool to be in a foreign country, but I wanted something to have a huge role. And I cannot think of anything that would provide a bigger impact than giving sight to the blind.
It's
like,
huge. And that's what kind of got my eye. I was like, that's like something I can really get behind. And the other piece of this, so it's like, why not do it as a community, as a tribe, to give our name as another stamp of like, hey, the Door people are good people. Like, we're not just these scumbags that come from out of jail because we can't get other jobs. Like how some people, it's so funny. Like that's what we're perceived as sometimes. Right. And just being like, look, as an association, as a group, as a tribe, we can, do things together and unify and up-level. That's like my mission statement. Unify, up-level, bring honor and integrity to door-to-door selling. What better way to say, let's rally together and support each other.
Yeah, like let's give back
a little bit as a group. And anyway, we have we don't get anything from this. Like, it's not like
zero.
It's not like I get like a Korean. I'm taking an override. Like, no.
Yeah.
So what's cool and why?
Well,
this?
not only this, dude. Sam, get this. So not only do we not make anything that's just totally just for the fun of it, but Charity Vision, the company, they're funded. All their like infrastructure is funded from an outside source, and so all the donations, 100% goes straight to it. You're not paying for a CEO's private jet. You're not paying for overhead, which there's nothing wrong. So charities have overhead too. But they've been able to keep this one small. So the $25, if any of you donate $25, that's going to go straight 100% to these surgeries. That's it. Nothing's going to take it out.
I love that.
And maybe as the company grows, that might shift a little bit. But right now,
it's like just 100% goes to actually impact, and
which is cool.
So what we're going to do, if you're listening or watching this, right now we don't have the site up because this is new and we want to kind of frame it, get everybody's interest. So like I said at the beginning, if you're interested, put I'm in or I'm interested. I want to participate in the Charity Week so we can send you more information or, but what we're going to do is on D2Dcon's website, d2dcon.com/Charity Week, we're going to have a place where you can go and donate, and you can go and learn more about, watch videos on how it's impacting, and educate yourself on that cause so that we can kind of all rally behind a common goal.
Yeah, and so we kind of set up like a little like Charity Week packet where every day you can watch a different video in your correlation meetings. See, because it's one thing to talk about like, oh, somebody getting sight, but when you can actually see the video and the story of like how it changed that person's life, it's way more impactful. So
you want to know what this reminds me of? So when I was all through high school, I painted the addresses on the curbs. You know my story,
I've heard
right?
that story,
You know what my pitch was?
Uh-huh.
Hey, so a portion of what we make, we donate to kids in Africa.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, you've been doing this from the beginning.
I've been doing the same pitch since I was 12 and 11.
Yeah.
So
did you donate the money to Africa?
I actually donated 10%. I said a portion. They didn't know it's only 10%, which is a portion. I would actually write checks to a charity called Mothers Without Borders. I did my Eagle project in Zambia, where I took yarn. This is so funny. So I was able to literally buy barrels of yarn, ship it over, and I taught women how to sustain themselves through their own business through crocheting. So I'm over there teaching like a bunch of women how to crochet stuff.
So you know how to crochet?
Oh, I love it. I just bought some
yarn. Pro crochet.
I bought yarn. This is how you sell old people too, by the way. Learn how to crochet, speak their language. The old ladies, everybody's like, how do you sell old people? I'm like, I crochet. Like, they buy that shit.
That's hilarious.
But I do. I actually just barely got some new yarn. It's like that fat. I'm going to make my new daughter. I'm pregnant with our third, and we're making her a baby blanket.
So you're like still practicing?
Like, I still practice.
Okay.
It's a thing. It's a religion. I practice crochet.
There you go.
Fun tip about Sam. But anyway, so that was my Eagle project. So I actually did donate to this. I got behind this, and I actually went out there and did some charity with them. So it was actually kind of cool. So since a young age, I've utilized charity as actual sales motivation too, because if you can go to a customer that week, let's say Charity Week, it's the 22nd through the 27th.
July 22nd through the 27th.
Yeah, so
everybody sign up.
Right,
it's gonna happen.
Now it's going to happen. So we're going to be sending out more and more posts. You're going to see us talking more and more about it. But what's going to happen is you're going to be with a customer, and don't use it to guilt them to be like, buy the thing. Don't do that. At the end, be like, just so you know, with this deal, here's a carrot on top.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to take some of this money and give sight to the blind. Check out this video. And show them the video or show them the picture.
You're waiting for your technician.
You're sitting there trying to kill time. It's like, show them that and be like, how cool is that? How much more solid is that customer? How
Dude.
much more are they like, this
So
is sick?
We
Like,
did this last year, right? So just quick history how we even heard about Charity Vision. I just heard it on a podcast, and this guy was like, "Oh yeah, like I work with Charity Vision." He was the president, I think. Is Mitt Romney's son. Josh Romney is like the president of it or whatever.
Trying to get Mitt, I just emailed Mitt to speak at Door to Door Con. So if anybody knows,
there we go. Well,
let's make that happen.
His son is
shiz.
the president of Charity Vision. So
we tag him. Tag Josh.
There
They're
you
gonna
go.
be like, he's already proactively supporting us.
We need it on there.
Anyway, I
So,
just said, hey, I'm going to make another announcement with speakers because I wanted to say this to somebody at some point. So if you're
You
watching,
heard it here first.
you've heard it here first. This is the first time announcing this. Just paid Tim Grover.
Oh yeah.
So Relentless. If you've read the book, if not, go check it out. Tim Grover speaking at 2019 or 2020's DDD Con, and then I've got a few more in the pipe. So I'm not going to say those, but he's stud.
Tell me after.
Yeah,
No, that's
okay.
exciting, dude.
Yeah.
Tim Grover, he's legit.
Didn't want to go on a tangent, but that's exciting. Anyway.
So anyway, yeah. So I listened to this podcast, and he's talking about Charity Vision, like giving sight to the blind, which I'm like, well, that sounds like the coolest thing in the world. And then it's sustainable, it's affordable, the infrastructure's right, all the money goes straight to charity. I'm like, this is like the perfect case scenario, and it's affordable. That's another thing. I've done charities where like, okay, you get to donate 5 sales, and you're like, oh dang.
Well, if
like,
I wanna throw up
I also want to like
$1,000,
pay my
yeah.
mortgage, you know. But this is $25. So I didn't even have my guys pay anything. I just said, hey, I'm just gonna pay it out of the override, whatever. Like every sale you do this week, it's gonna be donated. So they're like, they're just like, sweet. And I said, you can match it if you want. So some guys volunteered to match. So I was doing it and they were matching it. And then the company I sell for as well, Fluent's like, hey, we'll match it too. So then we were like triple dipping on every single sale.
That's
one
awesome.
from me, one from the rep,
Which is 3
one from
people.
the company.
Yeah, 3 people get now eyesight.
Yeah, 3 surgeries getting funded.
So if you're a business owner or you're a manager or you're somebody of influence, leverage that. Like, try to motivate and get your people rallied because it's going to help them sell more. They're going to feel better about knocking longer hours. They're going to get more. You know, did you see that? Did you see a little bit more of like a, oh, cool, I'm excited.
It was
about
our best week that week. It was our best week that week.
So what another reason to do a tribal D2D, you know, give back week.
It was awesome.
Is it's another opportunity, especially in the reason why we positioned end of July. Everybody's in the thick of it.
You're in
it's
the
like
grind.
The new days are over. The momentum has kind of hit, and now you're just in robot mode.
Well, and here's the thing,
it's
dude. Like,
yeah.
you've made a lot of money by then too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys are like, I made some money. If they're brand new, they're like by July, they're just like, holy smokes.
I've never made this much
Yeah,
money so
and even if
fast.
I've been doing this is my 10th year in the industry. This is my 10th summer knocking, and it's like sometimes the money just doesn't motivate you anymore. You're like, I'm good. Like I have my house, I have my investments. Like I don't care about the money anymore. But it's like that can give you a little extra, like, you know what I mean? And so that's what I really liked about it. The guys just got stoked. It was something to be excited about that took them out of their own head and out of their own like mind. It's just like, this will actually help somebody. Like, I might as well sell just for that.
Which leads me into the principle of when companies can change, instead of taking all their guys to Cancun on a trip, you know, how often it's like, hey, if you sell 100 this year, I'll take you to Cancun.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh. Or if you do XYZ, I'll give you a trip to Vegas. And it's like, that's okay. But I think when we've experienced some of these trips where I took like a bunch of CEOs to Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have the expert circle and I coach all these CEOs. And one of the days we connected with this lady named Ines, and we literally, she's a hoarder, and she had her house just chock full of stuff, like just insane. And I'm sitting there, I felt like I was in the show Hoarders, where I'm literally throwing bags and
Was
bags
she like
and
stoked
bags.
or
Oh,
upset
she
that
was
you were
going
coming?
through every bag.
She's like,
Going,
"What are you doing?"
You can't throw that away. You
Yeah.
can't throw, like it was like I'm pissing her off. Damn it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, her house looked so good, and some of the stuff she hadn't touched for 20 years.
That's
and
crazy.
she was just had 2 years where she was bedridden. And she had
Wow.
cancer, and she couldn't move. Her sister had just lost her leg. Now she's sleeping with her. She's lost her leg and blind. She's diabetic. She now lives with her, and they're both these old cats. And it's like, they can't do anything. And to be able to take all these business owners and CEOs that make a lot of money,
Yeah.
and I'm like, guys, I know you thought Mexico. We're throwing you for a whirlwind. We're gonna spend an entire day with this lady Ines.
That's cool.
And literally, like, it was so cool to watch how that set that trip's precedence. It created a new kind of vibe, I guess you could say, in the trip is like, let's get over ourselves and really get behind something together.
And it's cool because there's nothing wrong with going on the fancy vacation, but if you can mix it with a little bit of grounding.
And we had some fun.
Yeah, you can do the fun stuff. You can spend money on yourself. You could also do something that helps someone and spend a little money on them. And it just like it creates that balance in life. You're like, oh, a little more perspective. Like, and it I don't know. For me, I like that a lot because it like I said, it shifts the whole culture. And that's what's cool with the reps is because their mind wasn't thinking about themselves, and they were out selling, which is good for them, it's good for the company, but they were thinking about like, oh man, this could help someone else as well.
100%.
It just gives you a little more something, you know what I mean? And then like say, then at the end of the day, they're like, I'm doing something worthwhile. Because I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about how like it used to be like the agricultural age, like, you know, grow vegetables or whatever, and then it became the industrial age, and there was the information age. They're saying now it's like the purpose age. Like, people need to have a cause. Like, and you see with companies all the time now.
Well, it's how to hit millennials even.
That's the thing. Our generation, we want to change the world.
Exactly.
We're like, no, I want to change the world. I want to make a difference. And the cool thing is, like, we can. There's so much wealth and everything. It's like, oh, I'm not going to work for that company because they're not doing anything important. But this one's going to change the world. I call it, like, the Tom's, you know, like Tom's shoes. Like, that was, like, the first one I ever heard of where, like, I can buy these shoes and someone gets shoes? Like, that's cool. And now, like, lots of companies are jumping on that. But I don't think it's just to sell more. I think it's literally, it's like, it gives them a reason to wake up in the morning and do something, like, make a huge impact more than just making another dollar. Which is just, like,
huge.
It drives our generation. Like you said, we want to change the world.
So how do you attract? Use it as a recruiting tool. Use that as a retention tool.
Mm-hmm.
Use that. I mean, I'm not trying to think business owner, but I'm also
But there's
saying
so many good
there's
side
so
effects.
much win-win side
Yeah.
effect, and I think people undersee that. They don't leverage it in the win-win scenario.
When the way it doesn't work is when you guilt dudes into it, you like trick them like you have to do this, or that you guilt them in, or you try to guilt the customer like, look, if you do this, like,
yeah.
When you try to guilt people into it, it doesn't work. The second thing is when people don't see any real impact. But if you can like see these videos and these stories, or maybe even go on a trip with Charity Vision or whatever, and like see the lives it's changing, it's like that will make the difference. And the second, if you have the buy-in and you get like make it their choice, and they start seeing it and they feel that, like, it's intrinsically built into us to serve. Like, we're a communal being and we help our community. We feel like there's like literally endorphins released. Like, I feel good that I helped this person. And if you can connect that with the culture you're creating, like, that's great. Because we don't want to just go out there and make a bunch of machines that make money. We want to like make guys' lives better and make our lives better and like help in win-win-win-win scenarios. And that's like a way that they can connect. Wow, like, I literally had a rep, dude, it's funny. I had a rep today call me. He's like, dude, this job is like changing my life. Like, I'm number one in the company right now for rookies, and I've never been number one at anything. Like, thank you so much. Like, this is so awesome. And then, like, 10 years in, like, I get like a 3 spot. I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, I don't even check my bank account. Like, but when I get a phone call like that, I'm like, yes, like, okay, like, this is worth it. Like, this is cool, you know? And so it's cool to be able to, like, have that guy have that kind of culture and be able to do charity stuff.
Because it's like he would have never been able to go ever. Dude, I've had people, it's like, I've never been out of the country.
Yeah.
Or I've never done charity. Like, I just never grew up in a situation that they did that. And
when he was saying, he's like, dude, I've done a bunch of, like, dumb things in my life. I want to, like, help other people. And I was like, dude, I'm on my way to go do this podcast about how we're going to be able to leverage this to help more people. And he was like, that's so cool. Like, he was jacked on it, you know? And it's like, it doesn't just create a culture so I can, like, retain reps. Like, we're actually making a difference.
Yeah, it's real culture. Yeah. It's not a fake.
Right, exactly.
It's
so
real
it's freaking
energy.
awesome. We loved it last year, and the fact that I was like, dude, if we can do this industry wide, that's so sick. And then I don't know, like, so what I wanted to do too is like get everybody bought in. We'll do the charity week. That same week, everybody in the industry, July 22nd through the 27th, we're all doing it, and they can decide how much they're going to donate per sale depending on their industry or whatever. And then whoever like donates the most, we can recognize them at
do the trophy.
Con.
We'll do
give them a plaque or trophy or whatever.
Or something that says you were the charity all-star of the industry.
Yeah, like show them how many people they cured blindness for or
exactly.
whatever. Like, this is how many sales you got. Cool. This is how many people you gave sight to.
Yeah, I mean, think if you donated $2,500, that's 1,000 people that got sight.
Yeah,
that's crazy. and or whatever the math is.
I think it'd be 2,500. It should be 100, right?
Yeah, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But yes.
This is $25
$25
a
a person. Yeah.
So $2,500 bucks.
100 people now.
100 people are gonna have sight.
Change their life forever.
And maybe even more too, because it's even cheaper to do glasses. A lot of people come to these clinics to like get their eyes fixed, and they don't qualify for surgery. But like a $5 or $10 pair of glasses would fix it.
Yeah.
So Charity Vision started doing that too, and like saying again, in America, we're just like
we take it for granted.
whatever. Like you just go to the store, you get glasses,
get prescriptions, and you're done.
Yeah. But in these countries, like that's life changing, even something so small. So it's impactful. It's super impactful. It's cool.
So we're going to put the link on this. So it's DDDcon/Charity Week, and we will have more information. That site doesn't work at this current moment, but it will here shortly.
Right.
And we'll be sending out stuff. So remember to, on the podcast, comment I'm in, and we'll try to reach out to you. Keep following us. So subscribe to our channels. We're going to be putting more and more content out there in the tribe page, on the podcast, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also just, it's something I feel like we can all rally behind. And if you agree, maybe like this or give it a thumbs up, because I feel like this is something that hopefully people really embody.
Well, here's the thing.
See opportunity in that.
Worst case scenario, let's say you do it, you don't feel better about it, you don't have buy-in, guys don't care, you only donate like $50.
Still
like,
2 people.
2 people are going to have eyesight now.
It's crazy.
Like, that's really cool, So if anybody wants more information too, like I literally just, so I heard the podcast, I called Charity Vision and said, hey, I want to do this, and they're like, okay, cool, like, we'll take your money, whatever, like, they didn't even know what we were doing with door-to-door stuff. And then after the summer was over, I went and I met the president and the CEO, and I like told them, like, hey, I want to be an ambassador for you guys, and they're like, what's that? Like, I'm like, I just want to go, like, spread the word, and you guys might have seen them we had a booth at Door to Door Con. You were like, yeah, let's do a free booth for you guys. Like, you were bought in from the beginning, which is cool. But if you want to learn more about it, they made me like a little email address, just Joeej at charityvision.net, just for this event actually right now. So if guys want to learn more about it and get more details, you can email me, but just get on the Door to Door Con site, right?
Yeah.
So what's the URL going to be? Because you were like, you just told me this, like, oh, we'll create it on the website and track it.
D2DCon.com/Charity Week.
Charity Week.
That's it. And that way, every year we could maybe do and implement something like this and just kind of keep it going, and maybe we do multiple charity weeks a year. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's something that I've been passionate about. I've been able to participate in. It's something I get energy behind. So I'm like, yeah, let's finally like launch this as an association, as a group. So,
well, I know we talked about doing something before, but it's like, how do you get everybody in the industry to do like one trip? Like we talked about doing charity trips, which isn't really realistic with everybody, but doing a charity week, it works perfect.
Simple.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I appreciate you putting this together and being the ambassador, being the kind of the advocate of this, and honestly the support and trying to help others in a bigger way than just, hey, I can donate my little 2 cents, but being able to say, how do we get everybody to participate? So I appreciate you kind of being persistent with that. And
well, dude, in the platform that you have, like there's no other way to unify the door-to-door guys to everybody do this. I could text a couple of my buddies like, hey, let's all do this, but it's like, this is way more impactful.
Yeah.
So
no, cool.
It's cool.
So appreciate you guys. If you feel inspired, like I said, we don't get anything. This is really just to support, obviously, the people that need it. And but yeah, this is a wrap. I guess one last piece of advice. I always ask people the same question: what advice would you give the tribe if you could give anyone one piece of advice? It could be non-related at all. Obviously, guys, you heard he's 10 years doing this, managed successful teams, been a top performer. It's not like he's just some nobody. Like, Joe, we didn't even dive into your story or anything like that, which is okay. But, like, if you could give people one piece of advice, what would it be?
You just popped that on me. But I would say, honestly, don't underestimate the power of the impact of what you're doing. Like, you can make a huge difference. We were talking about, like, oh, we do all these little things where sometimes we get so, like, narrow-minded and, like, oh, trying to hit this number. I got to sell 200. That was, like, my big thing. I wanted to sell 200. I did. You can get, like, dialed in on these little things, but it's, like, don't underestimate what you could do with this job in impacting reps, like we're talking about, impacting, like, charity projects, impacting your own personal life. Like, just buy in fully that this job, if you do buy in, it can have a way greater impact than you ever imagined.
Love that.
So open your vision, man.
Love that. Okay, you heard it firsthand at the DDD podcast. Joe,
There we go.
man.
I'm excited. So hey, we're gonna have an image. I want this to like go viral in the
Share
DDD
this.
world. So we're gonna have like just a little like image you can just share on Instagram and Facebook that has the dates and what
Okay.
we're doing on it. So we'll post that.
We'll post that
Everybody
in the
can
tribe.
copy and paste it, and just let's get it like spread out over the next I guess we have almost 2 months. So that everybody's just jacked for that charity week when it comes in. It'll be super dope.
Love it. Okay, you guys are awesome. Peace out.
Thanks, Sam.